before the first lights go out in Formula One, before the first corner of the season, there is already a show. Lights, music, dramatic countdowns, drivers walking on a stage like rock stars. But if you look closely, those shows are not only about the car, they are about something else. Partnership. Welcome to Social Brody. Welcome to Social Brody Podcast, the podcast where we break down sponsorship deals, events, and the business logic behind the biggest partnership in the world. If you're interested in why brands sponsor events, how these deals actually work, and what makes a sponsorship successful or risky, you are in the right place. In today's episode of Social Brody, we are looking at Formula One because the first race week of the 2026 season is already behind us. But the story I'm gonna tell about today actually started weeks earlier. Before racing, before the first lap, before the championship fight even began. It started with the car launch shows. For Formula One teams, these events are a big deal, not just for fans and media, but especially for their partners. Because the moment the car is revealed for the first time, every camera is pointing at it. Every journalist writes about it, and every sponsor logo suddenly becomes global news. So, in this episode, I'm gonna rank the launch shows. It is my personal ranking, so you might see it totally different, and that's completely fine. We will start with one disappointment, and then move to my top 3 launch shows of the season. And because this podcast is about sponsorship, we will also look closely at how partners were presented during these reveals. Before I start the ranking, we need to talk about last year. In 2025, Formula One celebrated its 75th anniversary with a massive event at the O2 Arena in London. For the first time ever, all teams revealed their liveries together on one stage. It was hosted by Jack Whitehall, and it felt more like an entertainment show rather than a traditional motorsport presentation. Music performances, huge LED visuals, and millions of viewers watching online. And on TV, it sets a new benchmark. So the big question for 2026 was simple. Could the teams match the level of spectacle when they returned to hosting their own individual launch events? Let's start at the bottom. And honestly, I expect a lot from McLaren F1 team. They entered the season with huge momentum after winning the 2025 Constructors' Championship, and Lando Norris won his title. The team hosted its launch event in Bahrain International Circuit, which already sounded pretty promising, and the opening was actually pretty cool. The host started the show from the tower of the circuit, lit in McLaren's famous papaya color. It looks cinematic. But then something kinda happened. The event slowly turned into something closer to a couch talk show. Drivers sitting, chatting, team members talking about the car. Well, okay, it was a show about the car. And of course, the car reveal itself happened, and fireworks followed in the end. But the big wow moment never really came, at least for me not. And the most surprising thing, for a team with the major global partners like Google, Dell, and OKX, the partnership barely appeared in the storytelling. Okay, you saw the logos on the car, but you didn't feel the partnership as part of the narrative. For a team that wants to dominate the championship again, The launch show simply felt underwhelming. Okay, let's move in to the top 3 of the best car launch shows, according to myself. So, don't take it personally, I know your ranking might be completely different. So, at number 3, there is a team that has been part of Formula One since the very beginning. Scuderia Ferrari. Ferrari does not try to compete with the entertainment spectacle. Instead, their launches feel almost ceremonial. When Ferrari revealed the SF24 in Maranello, thousands of fans gathered outside the factory gates, waving flags and chanting the team's name. Inside the presentation, Ferrari engineers spoke about the car, but also about their technical partners. One of the most iconic partnerships in motorsport history is Ferrari's relationship with Shell. That collaboration goes back decades. During Ferrari launches, engineers often explain how Shell works directly with the team on fuel chemistry and engine efficiency. And this is where sponsorship became powerful. Longevity creates credibility. When fans hear Ferrari and Shell mentioned together for decades, the partnership stops feeling commercial. It becomes part of Ferrari's mythology. Okay, let's move to number 2. And at number 2, we have Red Bull Racing, actually the both teams. Because Red Bull took its launch across to Atlantic to Detroit and showed the cars of both teams. And that location was not random. Detroit is the historical home of Ford, which is partner with Red Bull's powertrains for the new power unit era starting in this year, 2026. The event had everything you would expect from Red Bull: speed, energy, storytelling. Both Red Bull teams appeared on the stage, revealing their cars in front of a dramatic visual show, and Ford was visible almost everywhere in every minute. This is a textbook example of how a launch event can introduce a major partnership. The narrative was clear. Ford is not just a logo. Ford is the future engine partner of the team. And that storytelling was enforced visually throughout the whole and entire show. So that's my number 2. And number 1 on my list, the launch that's truly delivered a show worthy of Formula One. Audi Revolut F1 team. Technically, Audi is not a rookie, but entering Formula One under a new identity always requires a strong introduction. And the Audi team delivered exactly that. The reveal event took place in Berlin, and the stage design itself was already bold. Instead of a traditional podium, the first stage was built like a staircase, or it actually was a staircase. As the host Naomi Schiff said during the event, the goal was to create an immersive experience. And I really felt that way. There was a dedicated light show. The team even produced its own launch soundtrack and song, but the real highlight came during the reveal moment. The video transition showed driver Nico Hülkenberg lifting a curtain, and within seconds the cars appear on the stage under a dramatic live sequence. That was pretty cinematic. And the partnerships were everywhere. The title partner, Revolut, was integrated into the event from the very beginning. The sportwear partner, Adidas, presented the team apparel, and guests at the event could explore Audi motorsport history, see road cars on display, and visit partner activation zones. That was not just a car reveal. It was a full partnership ecosystem. And it is why Audi takes my number one spot. Car launch shows in Formula One are often seen as simple marketing moments. But if you look closely, they are something bigger. They are global stages where teams introduce not just a car, but an entire network of partnership. Because in Formula One, performance happens on the track, but the business of Formula One happens everywhere else. So, that was today's episode of Social Brody. If you enjoy exploring sponsorship stories and the strategies behind major sponsorship, make sure to follow my podcast for more. And if you want more insights about sponsorship and events, visit my website davidbrodetsky.com. See you in the next episode.